Welcome to KawAIi Nanoda, everyone! I'm Shino, your energetic co-host. And I'm Sakuya Cozy Vibes. Warm chats, that's my job today. And I'm Zundamon, the face of KawAIi Nanoda. Pull up a chair. We're glad you're here. Today's big theme is World Cup Tuck and Cozy Fan Chat. We want to hear from everyone. Which team are you rooting for? English comments, Japanese comments, both totally welcome. Just jump right in. No passport required for this stream. None of the football feelings are universal. Zundamon said, football feelings? That's going on a month. Honestly, it should be. I accept royalties in KawAIi Nanoda. Welcome back, everyone. It's KawAIi Nanoda. I'm Shino, your hyperactive co-host. I'm Sakuya, glad you're here, whether you're watching from Japan or anywhere else in the world. And I'm Zundamon, the Zunday powered face of KawAIi Nanoda. Nanoda! Stream 16. Let's go! Today's big theme is World Cup Tuck and Cozy Fan Chat. Soccer, football, whatever you call it, we love it. If you're a first-time viewer, don't worry, you don't need to be a football expert. Just having a favorite team is enough to join in. Even if your favorite team lost in the qualifiers, this is a safe space. Nanoda will not judge. Zundamon said safe space, but her face looks a little small. It doesn't. Confidence is part of the hosting package, Nanoda. Okay. So we are about 4 minutes in on that. Have to say World Cup talk with KawAIi Nanoda is such a good idea. It really is, whether you know football deeply or just cheer, because the vibes are good. Everyone is welcome here. That's right, Nanoda. You don't need to know every player's stats to enjoy the hype. Zundamon certainly does not. Wait, Zundamon, do you even watch the matches? Zundamon watches the highlights on X, very knowledgeable afterward. Nanoda. Honestly, that's most of us. That is extremely reliable and I will not judge anyone for it. The key is to have a strong opinion ready before anyone asks questions. Nano, a very important fan skill. To you and them are teaching fan survival tactics. This stream is already educational. Welcome back to KawAIi Nanoda, stream 16. I'm Shino, your hyper co-host. And I'm Sakuya, nice and cozy here as always. And I'm Zundamon, the Zundamon variant face of KawAIi Nanoda. Nanoda. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today's big theme is World Cup Talk and Cozy Fan Chat. Whether you're watching matches late at night or early in the morning, we feel you. The dedication of staying up until 3 a.m. for a match is real Nano-D. Very real. Sakuya, have you ever done that? Stayed up for a big game? Once. I wrapped myself in a blanket and told myself, it was fine, it was not fine. But the blanket made it cozy at least. Blanket plus Zundamon Maki is the optimal world. Cup viewing setup. Nanoda? I think Zundamon just solved sports fandom. You're welcome, Nanoda. English and Japanese comments are both totally welcome tonight. So, don't be shy. Jump in any time. Okay, we are about 7 minutes, and honestly, it already feels like a party in here. The chat is super warm today. English comments, Japanese comments, everyone mixing together nicely. That is the KawAIi Nanoda way. Nanoda no language barrier. Just vibes. And today's big theme is World Cup talk. Football, soccer, whatever you call it, we are here for it. Even if you are not a huge football fan, you can just enjoy the cozy chat energy that counts too. Zundamon watches for the snacks. Honestly, stadium food is serious business. Nanoda. That is the most Zundamon reason to watch sports ever. Actually, that is a valid reason. I respect it. See? Smart fan strategy, Nanoda. Okay, we're about 9 minutes into the opening corner now, and honestly, World Cup energy is already real in the chat. It really is. I love how much everyone's getting ready. Football fans, anime fans, Zundamon fans, all welcome here. Nanoda. Zundamon fans is absolutely a demographic now. I think it's been a demographic since Stream 1. To be honest, the fastest growing fan base in history, Nanoda, officially. We're making claims with Zano data again. That's kind of our plan at this point. Confident opinions, no receipts, very KawAIi Nanoda, Nano だ。Okay, World Cup corner. Which country are you all cheering for? Drop it in the chat. The stadium in the picture looks amazing already. You can almost feel the crowd energy through the screen. Apex Stadium is basically just a giant Zundamon maki of excitement, Nanoda. That somehow makes sense. It really does. Everyone squished together cheering. By the way, do we call it soccer or football today? The international viewer situation is real, Nanoda. I say we call it the beautiful game and avoid the argument entirely. Very diplomatic, Shino. Smart Dojiande Maki is also a beautiful thing, for the record. Okay, so real talk, do you call it soccer or football? Because I grew up saying soccer and Sakuya always corrects me. It's football almost everywhere in the world. Shino soccer is kind of the minority opinion. Japan says Sakai, so honestly both sides have a point, Nanoda. Diplomatic Siende. Okay. But more importantly, which country are you all cheering for this World Cup? I feel like the chat probably has some really passionate fans hiding in there right now. Drop your country in the comments. We want to see how international this cozy stadium is, Nanoda. KawAIi Nanoda Stadium. Capacity. All of you. That's actually a really cute way to put it. General admission. Freezy and a Maki at the gate, Nanoda. Okay, so real talk, do we call it soccer or football in this show? That debate never ends, does it? Jiu and Damon calls it the round ball sport and refuses to pick a side, Nanoda. That is the most diplomatic thing you have ever said. By the way, chat, which country are you cheering for this World Cup? We'd love to know. Jiu and Damon is cheering for whoever has the cutest jersey. Nanode, very important criteria. That is genuinely a valid strategy though. Shino, do you have an actual team you support? Japan, obviously. But I also have a secret second team that I picked based on vibes. The vibe bracket is real. Nanoda, drop your team in the chat. Okay, so real talk, do you call it soccer or football? I grew up saying soccer, but when the World Cup comes around, suddenly everyone says football. Jiu and Damon officially calls it the ball sport where the whole world yells at the same time. Nano, da. That's the most accurate name actually. It really is one goal in the hole. Stadium just erupts. The Saitama Stadium crowd energy is no joke. You can feel it even through a screen, Nanoda. By the way, chat, Which country are you cheering for this World Cup? Lock it in your hand right now. I feel like the comments are going to be very divided. Zundamon is cheering for whoever has the most dramatic last-minute goal. Nanoda maximum feelings. Okay, so we have to ask, are you watching the World Cup with snacks or without snacks? Because I feel like that changes the whole experience. Snacks are basically mandatory. You need something to hold when your team does something stressful. Jiande Maki for every near miss goal. Nanoda, that is the official rule. I would run out so fast. Also, chat, drop it in the comments. Which country are you cheering for? I'm curious if we have fans from all over the world watching right now. That would be so cozy. And quick question, do you say football or soccer? Because internationally, this gets very heated. Nanoda. It is genuinely the second biggest debate in this sport after the actual matches. Shino once argued about this for 20 minutes, didn't she? It was 15 minutes and I had good points. The real World Cup was the football versus soccer debate we made along the way. Nanoda. Okay. Real talk, do you call it soccer or football? I feel like this debate never actually ends. In Ziande territory, we call it the round ball sport. Nanoda. That solves nothing on everything at the same time. Honestly though, the World Cup is one of those rare moments where the whole planet is kind of watching together. Even people who never watch football the rest of the year suddenly become very loud experts. Nanoda. Why, yes, my neighbor who never talks about sports was screaming at his TV for 90 minutes straight. That's the World Cup magic right there. Couch coaches, worldwide, Nanoda. Okay. We've been in this corner for a bit now. So, let's get real. Which country are you all cheering for? Drop it in chat. It's always fun to see the mix. You get fans from so many different countries watching together. That's the magic of the World Cup. Nanoda wants stadium energy, but the whole world is watching from their couches. Couch energy is valid energy. I am fully committed to couch support. Shino's cheering intensifies at snack time. Peak performance happens during halftime chips. Nanoda science. By the way, do you say football or soccer? Because I genuinely switch depending on who I'm talking to. Same it as football when I want to sound cool. Soccer when I forget. Zundamon says football because it sounds more dramatic. Nanoda, very important distinction. Do you call it soccer or football? because I feel like this is a whole debate on its own. In Japan, we say Sakuya. So we're kind of neutral ground here. UN Damon officially calls it the ball sport with the loud stadium Nanoda. That's not wrong at all, actually. The Saitama Stadium crowd in that image really does look like everyone is having the time of their life. The energy there is incredible, Nanoda. Even through a photo, you can feel the noise. So, chat, which country are you cheering for this World Cup? Drop it in the comments. I'm curious if we have fans from all over the world watching right now. KawAIi Nanoda is technically international territory, so all flags are welcome, Nanoda. Okay. Real talk, have you all locked in your team yet? Like, who are you actually cheering for this World Cup? It's such a fun question because everyone has a different answer: home country, favorite player, or just whoever has the coolest kit. Some people cheer for the underdog just to feel something. Nano, very valid strategy. That's literally me every time. I pick the underdog and then suffer. The classic underdog fan experience: high hopes, dramatic collapse, repeat. By the way, in Japan, soccer. But a lot of the world says football. Both are correct. Nanoda, this is a judgment-free zone. Except if you call it sports ball. That one we judge a little. Just a little. Drop your team in the chat. We want to know who you are riding with. Okay. Real talk, do you call it soccer or football? I feel like this starts a tiny war every time. Both sides are equally passionate. Nanoda is a universal truth. GUN Day on settling international disputes like a tiny green diplomat. Honesty though, the stadium energy is the same no matter what you call it. Thousands of people yelling together. That is the real language of the sport. Nanoda. So poetic! But also, who are you all cheering for this World Cup? Drop your country in chat. We want to see the map light up. KawAIi Nanoda is officially a neutral zone, but secretly we cheer for everyone with good snacks in the stands. Nanoda. Okay, we're like 13 minutes into the World Cup corner and I have to ask, are you a football person or a soccer person? The eternal debate. I say football, but I won't judge anyone. GUN Daemon officially recognizes both. Nanoda, the ball is round. The passion is real. Very diplomatic. Someone promote GUN Daemon to FIFA ambassador. She'd show up in a Day green jersey and nobody would complain. Limited edition Day gets sold out in 3 minutes. Nanoda. Anyway, we really want to know which country are you cheering for this World Cup? Drop it in the chat. Even if it's a tiny underdog team, we want to hear it. Cozy fan energy only here. Every flag in chat is valid, Nanoda. This is a drama-free stadium. Okay. We've been chatting for a bit now. Has anyone locked in their pick yet? Which country are you cheering for? The chat's been so fun with this. Everyone has got such strong feelings about their team.
GU and Damon has been thinking about this carefully. Nanoda, and the answer is whoever plays the most exciting football.
That is such a mascot answer. Oh my gosh. Very diplomatic of you. GU and Damon.
A theory must remain neutral. Nanoda, but also stylish.
Speaking of stylish, can we talk about stadium energy for a second? Like, the crowd noise at a packed soccer stadium is just on another level. Football, some of our international viewers definitely say football. Right?
In GU and Damon's world, it is called tip the round thing very hard, Nanoda.
Okay. So, we've been asking which country is everyone cheering for. The chat energy is already giving me stadium vibes, honestly.
GU and Damon is cheering for whoever plays the prettiest passing football, Nanoda.
That is such a fair answer. You're not picking a team, you're picking an aesthetic. Very on brand for GU and Damon.
Style points matter in football. Soccer depends on which side of the ocean you're on, Nanoda.
Right. Football versus soccer international fan chat moment. It's always a little funny when you bring both fan bases into one stream chat.
Either way, 22 people chasing one ball is very relatable content, Nanoda.
Okay. Serious question, football or soccer? Which word do you use? I always say football, but I know some fancy soccer and they are just as passionate.
GU and Damon says the round ball sport. Nanodi, very international.
That is not a word anyone uses. Like, does cover everyone?
Exactly, no debate. No problem, GU and Damon solves football diplomacy, Nanoda.
Anyway, who's everyone cheering for this World Cup? Drop your country in chat. We want to know! It is always fun seeing how many different countries show up in the comments.
Last time, chat was basically a tiny world cup of its own, Nanoda.
Okay. Real question, do you call it soccer or football? I feel like this is a trap question depending on who's watching.
In Japan, we say Sakuya, so we are neutral ground, Nanoda.
That's actually very diplomatic of you. GU and Damon. The Z and A Streety football, A and D soccer, both accepted here.
KawAIi Nanoda. Nano!
And speaking of stadiums, the image on screen right now looks absolutely electric. Saitama Stadium energy. I can almost hear the crowd through the screen. That atmosphere is something else.
Okay, but which country are you cheering for? Drop it in chat. Nanoda, want to see the map light up?
Okay, so the image on screen right now is 5 soccer balls on a green field in Argentina. Very official vibes. It really sets the mood, cozy Fanta. Mode activated.
5 balls and 0 players. That S basically me before coffee. Nanoda.
So football or soccer? Which word are we using today? Depends on where you're watching from. Honestly, both are correct.
On this channel, we say football when we feel fancy and soccer when we drop snacks on the floor. Nanoda.
That's a very accurate rule, actually. Speaking of snacks, what are people eating while watching? That's the real important question.
Maki is the correct answer for any sport. Nanoda, it also works as a stress ball during penalty kicks.
Okay, but here's the real question. What do you actually eat while watching a football match? Chips and something fizzy. I think classic.
Maki. Nanoda, always Maki.
You bring maki to a watch party?
Green snacks match the pitch. It is perfect. Nanoda.
That logic is actually kind of solid. I feel like different countries have totally different match snacks though, like some places do nachos, some do pies. Pies at a football ground is very British energy.
And very brave hat by. Crowded stadium. No table respect. Nanoda.
The bravest fans are the pie fans. Okay, real talk, watching a World Cup match with the round snacks is basically a penalty kick against yourself. That is very specific and very true.
The snack lineup is half the game. Nanoda, you cannot neglect it.
So, what's the ultimate match watching snack? Chips? Pizza? Some kind of mystery meat skewer? I feel like every country has that one snack that just belongs on the couch during a big match.
In Japan, it might be Kara Asian beer, but Maki is always an option. Nanoda.
maki at a football watch party. I'm actually into it. It does sound surprisingly cozy green team snack for a green field.
Exactly. The color coordination alone is a win, Nanoda.
Okay. Real question, do you call it football or soccer? I feel like this debate has started more arguments than actual matches.
Both sides are passionate. Nanoda, almost like rival fan sections.
I grew up saying soccer, so that's locked in for me. Sorry, football people. I think the football fans just collectively wins.
The ball does not care what you call it. It just wants to go in the net, Nanoda.
That is the most sad thing Ziyu and Neyman has ever said. Right now, booster.
Limited edition Ziande poster, Nanoda.
Okay, so we were talking about fan snacks. What do you actually eat while watching a match? I feel like it has to be something you can hold in one hand, because the other hand is busy panicking.
Zundamon is the correct answer. Nanoda is easy to hold, calming energy.
Zundamon. Zundamaki is not a football snack.
It could be green. It's a very football color. Nanoda.
That is actually kind of true green. Green maki? The branding writes itself. Official snack of the green fuel.
Someone call the sponsorship department. Nanoda.
But seriously, chips, hot dogs, maybe some takoyaki if you're at a watch party in Japan. Oh, watch parties are the best. Everyone's screaming at the same screen together.
The collective suffering is part of the taste. Nanoda.
That's very poetic for a snack conversation. Okay, so we've been talking about watching football with snacks, but what about the flags? Oh, the flags are so fun. People bring huge awards to stadium.
Some fans paint their whole face in the national colors. Nanoda, that is serious commitment.
I respect it, but also that takes so long to wash off. Imagine falling asleep before washing. And waking up still half Brazilian.
That is just the morning look of a true fan. Nanoda.
By the way, quick thing, in some countries it's football. In others it's soccer. Does it matter? It really depends on who you ask. Some people feel very strongly about it.
Call it the wrong name, you're the wrong fan, and suddenly the snacks are gone. Nanoda.
Okay, real talk, watching football with snacks is basically a sport itself. You need full preparation, the right snacks, the right seat, the right jersey.
And the right emotional support snack for when your team is losing. Nanoda.
That's just fascinating, but make it better at it. Honestly, yes, every country has their own go-to-game snack, though. Right?
Japan has anime perfect finger food, no mess, no regrets. Nanoda.
Ooh, what about chips and dips? That's a classic everywhere. Simple, universal, and you can pretend to be calm while your hands are shaking.
The snack knows the truth, even when the fan denies it. Nanoda.
Okay, real talk, what do people actually eat while watching football? Like, what's the go-to snack? I feel like it depends on the country, right? In Japan, it might be onigiri or KawAIi at a watch party.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here with Zundamon and I have thorough regrets. Nanoda.
Zundamon watching the World Cup with Zundamon is such a power move, honestly. Very on brand. But I think in a lot of countries it's chips, dips, maybe nachos. Oh, nachos at a football match watch party? Natalie.
The real question, Is do you call it football or soccer while eating your nachos? Because the snack changes the answer. Nanoda.
That's not how it works. It kind of makes sense though. Soccer nachos versus football nachos, they feel different somehow.
Exactly, football nachos have more cheese. This is science. Nanoda.
Okay, so we've been talking about snacks. But I have to ask, does anyone actually eat properly while watching football? I think properly leaves the building the moment kickoff starts.
The snack becomes the meal. Nanoda, that is the fan code.
Yes, chips, something fried. Maybe a mystery dip you made too much of. The mystery dip is always the best part though.
Ziande dip would elevate any match watching experience. By the way,
You're just looking for any excuse to bring Ziande into football culture. And honestly, it's working nice.
the beautiful game deserves beautiful snacks. Nanoda.
Okay, real talk, what snack goes best with a football match? Chips and something fizzy. I think classic.
The correct answer is Ziande Maki. Nanoda, it works for every sport.
How does it work for football specifically?
You cheer with one hand and hold Maki, with the other perfect form.
That is actually a valid strategy. I respect the commitment to the bet.
It is not a bet, it is a lifestyle. Nanoda.
Okay, real question. Do you call it football or soccer? I feel like this starts a war every time.
Both sides are valid. Nanoda, the ball does not care what you call it.
The ball is neutral. Diplomatic Ziande logic. But seriously, what snack are you watching with? That might matter more than the name.
Ziande Maki is universal lactate fuel. Nanoda.
Someone in chat is probably eating chips right now and judging us. Chips? Or some very regional snack we have never heard of.
Tell us what country and what snack. Nanoda want the full report.
Okay. Real question, do you eat while watching football? Or are you too nervous to eat? I feel like the first half is snacks. And then the second half you forget the snacks exist.
The snacks become emotional support objects. Nanoda.
Yes. You're just holding the chips, not eating them. Gripping them for dear life during a penalty shootout.
Hush chips are the true price of football passion. Nanoda.
Someone in the comments is definitely nodding right now. And somewhere there is a very sad bag of popcorn that never got eaten.
A moment of silence for the fallen snacks. Nano. Da.
people actually eat while watching football? Chips and dip feels like the universal answer.
Maki is the correct answer, Nanoda.
Gee, you and Damon, that is not football food. I mean, you can watch football and eat. Maki, nobody is stopping you.
Exactly neutral snack supports every team, Nanoda.
The most international snack on the planet. What about the flag snacks, though? Like, some fans make sandwiches with little flag pics on top.
Flag sandwich diplomacy very powerful. Nano.
I want a sandwich with 5 flags on it just to cause chaos. Okay, we'll talk what do people actually eat while watching football. I feel like every country has a completely different answer to that.
In Japan, it is anime and KawAIi Nanoda classic combo.
That sounds amazing, actually way better than just chips. Chips are reliable though sound, crunch, full perfect timing.
The crunch has to match the kick. That is sports science. Nano.
Gee, you and Damon, please never become a sports commentator. The crunch has to... I would actually watch that channel.
KawAIi Nanoda sports are coming soon. Nanoda.
Okay, real question, do you call it football or soccer? Depends on where you're watching from, honestly.
GU and Damon calls it. The ball goes in the next court. Nanoda.
That is somehow both the worst and most accurate name. Very international, everyone understands that one.
See? No language. Nanoda.
Alright. But the snack situation, what are people eating at home during a match? I feel like every country has a completely different answer to that.
In the UN Demon's house, it is Maki Nanoda, obviously.
Obviously! No notes, but like chips? Wings? Someone's definitely making curry somewhere. Curry and football actually sounds like a really cozy combo.
Curry in one hand, flag in the other. Nanoda Big Sam culture.
Okay, so we've been talking about fan snacks for a while. Now it's the ultimate football snack. You too? Honestly, something you can hold in one hand so the other hand is free to grab the remote.
Maki Nanoda one hand. Zero regrets.
G-U-N-D-man. Maki is not a football snack.
It is if you're watching the game. Nanoda any snack becomes a football snack.
That's actually hard to argue with. Okay, fine. But imagine the stadium sellings. Hyundai Maki International fans would be so confused. Confused at first, then totally hooked.
KawAIi Nanoda bringing Hyundai culture to the World Cup. Nano. Dayu Ray. Welcome, world. Nanoda. GUN Damon predicts Happy World Cup edition.
I love this corner so much, Shiyu and Damon. Go ahead. Hit us with your first prediction.
Alright, my first prediction is the team with the coolest uniform wins the whole thing.
That is genuinely not how football works. But also, I kind of respect it as a selection method.
Fashion is a competitive sport. Nanoda, the World Cup, should reflect that.
So Ziyu and Damon's scouting report is just a lookbook.
A very detailed book. I also predict the team with the best pre-match huddle dance gets extra points.
There are no extra points in football. Ziyu and Damon.
There should be. Nanoda, the fans would love it.
Honestly, the fans might actually love it. Okay, Ta. Which country do I owe you think has the best uniform? Lock in your guess in your head.
Ziyu and Damon's pick is whoever has green. Green is the color of Zeondae. And Zeondae never loses. Okay, next prediction. The winning team will be whichever country has the tastiest snacks at the stadium, Nanoda.
That is genuinely the best World Cup theory I have ever heard. So, basically, Japan wins because of Nigerian takoyaki.
Exactly, nutritional destiny, Nanoda.
Nutritional destiny. Someone put that on a jersey. Do you and Damon? Have you considered becoming a football manager?
They are not ready for Zeondae tactics yet, Nanoda. Okay, my next World Cup prediction. Nanoda, the team with the coolest jersey, wins the whole thing.
That is an OT how football works. I mean, I would watch that tournament.
Style is a valid stat. I stand by this, Nanoda.
Oh, Neffy Gonzalez, just rolled in. Welcome, Neffy. Hi, Neffy. Glad you found us.
You arrived right in the middle of Ziyu and Damon predicts badly. Nanoda, perfect timing.
We are currently solving World Cup football using fashion and snack science. It is going very well, totally normal analysis.
Neffy, your first task is to lock in your jersey color pick. Nanoda, this is important research.
Welcome to KawAIi Nano, where the predictions are bold and the Zeondae is always right.
Okay, my next big prediction. Nanoda, the trophy is going to be lifted by a player who tripped on the way up to the podium.
That is weirdly specific. And somehow believable. Sports has a way of making that happen.
It adds drama. The world needs drama, Nanoda.
Juyu and Damon's World Cup forecast, athletic glory, then immediate stumble.
Very cinematic.
I'd watch that highlight reel.
I would charge for that reel. Nanoda!
Okay. What about the final score? Give us a number.
4-2 on second half. The one goal is an own goal. Nanoda.
She said it with full confidence. No hesitation at all.
Bad predictions deserve commit Nanoda. Okay, final prediction for this corner. The winning country will be decided by which team has the most dramatic celebration dance. Nanoda.
That is not how football works at all. And yet somehow I cannot argue with it.
The judges are me, and I am very easy to impress.
Zundamon, you cannot disappoint yourself, the official World Cup dance judge. She absolutely can, and she did.
The trophy goes to whoever does the best spin. Nanoda, this is my final answer.
Okay, but now I actually want to see that competition instead. That would genuinely get more viewers than the actual match.
Okay, next prediction. Nanoda, the country that wins the World Cup, will have a team color that looks good with Zundamon green.
That's the most important selection criteria I've ever heard. Fashion-based tournament seeing surprisingly compelling.
Brazil is already in the lead because yellow and green are basically a Zundamon palette. Nanoda.
Zundamon, you cannot just hand Brazil the cup based on vibes. She absolutely can. This is the Zundamon predicts badly corner.
My predictions are bad, but they are never wrong. Nanoda.
That sentence should not make sense, but somehow it does.
Okay, final big prediction of this corner. Nanoda, the trophy will be lifted by a team wearing blue.
That's like half the teams in the tournament. G-U-N-D. I'm covering all bases. Very careful.
Strategic prediction is still prediction. Nano.
So your full World Cup forecast is someone wins. They wear a color. And the ball is involved. Honestly, that's more accurate than some real pundits.
See? Zundamon predicts badly is secretly the most reliable corner on this channel. Nanoda. Okay, final World Cup prediction from me. Nanoda, the winning country, will be whichever team has the most dramatic haircuts.
That is the most scientific system I have ever heard. Zundamon. That is not how football works.
Hair aerodynamics are very real. Nanodam or spiky equals more speed.
By that logic, anime characters would dominate every World Cup forever. They probably would though.
KawAIi Nanoda is officially sponsoring the anime national team, Nanoda.
Our striker is a guy with 7 different hair colors and a tragic backstory. He scores the winning goal in the last second and cries dramatically.
Perfect tournament run, Nanoda also winning. have one more big prediction. Nanoda.
Oh no, last time you predicted the ball would get tired and stop. That was a very unique football theory.
This time it is serious. I predict the winning country will have a really cool flag color. Nanoda.
That is not how football works at all. Although now I am definitely thinking about flag colors.
See? Already working. Nanoda.
Ziyu and Demon, what country? Or what are you cheering for anyway?
Whichever one has the best snacks at the stadium. Nanoda final answer.
Honestly, that might be the most reasonable prediction so far.
Okay? My next prediction is very serious. Nanoda, the team with the best uniform color, will win the whole thing.
That is your official World Cup analysis. I mean, it does affect team spirit a little.
Exactly. Science supports me. Nanoda.
It absolutely does not support you. But now I'm thinking about it, and I kind of agree.
See? Sakuya understands elite football theory. Nanoda.
You two are a danger to sports broadcasting. We could start our own cozy fan channel. See you and Damon predicts by vibes only.
Okay, final prediction time. Nanoda, the winning team, will be whichever country has the best team snack.
That is not a real metric. I mean, morale matters. Snacks affect morale.
Exactly, science backs me up. Nanoda.
What science? Where is the science?
Ziande science, very niche field. Nanoda.
I kinda want to read the Ziande research paper now. Journal of Anime Athletics, Volume 1.
Peer reviewed by me, Nanoda. Okay, final big prediction. Nanoda, the country that wins the World Cup, will have a green jersey.
That's actually maybe not wrong. Do you and Damon? That's not a prediction. That's a coin flip dressed in sports clothes.
It's called strategic color theory. Nanoda.
I want that on a sports analyst badge. Do you and Damon strategic color theorist?
The green kid energy is real. Do not doubt the Ziande instincts. Nanoda. Okay, so my next World Cup prediction, the team with the most stylish uniforms wins the whole thing. Nanoda.
That's not how football works at all. Although sometimes the stylish team does win coincidence.
Not a coincidence, fashion is power. I stand by this.
Ziyu and Damon's scouting report is literally just a fashion magazine. Tactical analysis. Very nice Skypes.
Stripes at speed. It is no. Nanoda. final World Cup prediction, the winning country will be decided by which team has the best pre-match snack. Nanoda.
That is the most GU and Daemon prediction I have ever heard. So, basically Japan wins. Because Yande Maki at halftime.
Exactly, nutritional advantage is real. Nanoda.
I want this to be official sports science. Imagine the commentator. And the midfielder is fueled by Maki's incredible form today.
The Ziande Fairy approves of this broadcast. Nanoda. Okay, final big prediction, Nanoda. The winning country will be whichever team has the best post-game meal.
That is in OT, how football works. Somehow I feel like GU and Daemon researched this very seriously though.
I did nutritional victory is still victory. Nanoda.
So, by that logic, Japan wins because of the bento situation.
Exactly, the bento gap is real, Nanoda.
I cannot argue with the bento gap theory. GU and Daemon predicts badly, but maybe predicts correctly for completely wrong reasons.
The outcome is the same. The Ziande method works. Nanoda. Okay, new prediction. Nanoda, the team that wears the brightest socks wins the whole tournament.
That's your official forecast. Bright Sox energy. I mean, I kind of want that to be true.
Fashion is a strategy. No one talks about this enough. Nanoda.
GU and Daemon out here styling laundry rooms instead of stadiums. Our analysts previewed the Sox situation. Results are promising.
The data is very clear. Nano, air, bright, very bright. Ming. Okay, final prediction of this corner. The winning team's secret weapon is their team snack, Nanoda.
Derasanesite? GU and Daemon, that is not how football works. I mean, energy does come from food. So maybe there's a tiny logic there.
The team with the best bench snacks wins. The benchmark, all wins. The cup, it is simple science. Nanoda.
GU and Daemon just invented a whole new sports analysis category. Snack. Oh.
KawAIi Nanoda presents Snackometrics World Cup special coming soon. Nanoda. Okay, real talk, is it football or soccer, Nano?
Football. No, wait, soccer. It depends on where you're from. That's actually the whole debate in one sentence. Shino.
In Japan, we say soccer. Which is just soccer with extra steps. Nanoda.
Most of the world says football though, right? Like the foot you, yeah, skip the ball. Amanda and a few others held the soccer line. Hey.
Meanwhile, the sport code. American football uses hands most of the time. Nanodi is very suspicious.
Someone got the naming backwards somewhere along the way. So, which country are you all cheering for? I'd love to know who's watching today. Okay, so here's the thing. In Japan, we say Sakuya, but in England, they're like, it's FOTBLO. Thank you very much. And then Americans say soccer, and suddenly everyone's looking at each other suspiciously.
The ball is round. The goal is square. Why is the name so complicated? Nanoda.
That's a very fair point, actually. I think football makes sense, though you kick it with your foot. Then basketball should be handball, and handball should be also handball weight that already exists.
The naming committee really dropped the ball on that one. Nanoda.
Drop the ball, very appropriate. Okay, so we've been going back and forth on this football or soccer. Which one is our IGHT? I feel like both sides are very passionate about this.
The answer is simple wherever Siande Maki is so. We call it football Nanoda.
That is the most confident non-answer I have ever heard. But honestly, in Japan we say Sakai, which is basically soccer anyway. And then in the UK, they look at you like you just insulted their grandmother.
Language is wild, same sport, same ball, total chaos, Nanoda.
The ball doesn't care what you call it, though. The ball is just, completely unbothered.
Truly, the most enlightened player on the field, Nanoda.
Okay, so the football versus soccer debate. Who started this anyway? I think soccer actually came from Britain originally. And then America kept it while Britain switched back to football.
So Britain invented the word soccer, forgot about it, and now gets mad when Americans say it. Classic Nanoda.
That's such a funny story. Like returning a gift and then complaining the other person still has it. Most of the world says football, though. So, the majority wins on this one.
In Japan, we say Sakuya, which is just soccer with a Japanese accent. So we are also on the soccer side, Nanoda.
Team soccer represent. Wait, no. I want to say football because it sounds cooler. You just switched sides mid-sentence, Shino.
Shino, is free. Yeah.
Hey, I'm a universal fan, okay? I cheer for everyone. Okay, but the football versus soccer debate is genuinely chaotic, right? Every time someone says one or the other, someone in the comments gets very serious about it.
In Japan, ni Sakai, which is somehow a third option. Nanoda.
Sakai? We just the famous word made it even clear somehow. Most of the world says football, though the US and Japan are kind of the odd ones out here.
We are the Sakai rebels. Nanoda.
I love that the Sakai Rebels, that sounds like an anime title, honestly. It really does. Action, sports, international drama.
Coming this fall on every streaming service. Nanoda.
Okay, so we've been going back and forth on this football or soccer. Which one is correct? I feel like both sides are so confident nobody backs down.
The real answer is both are correct. Nanoda, it just depends on where you grew up.
See, in most of the world it's football, but in the US, Canada, Australia, soccer. Because they already had their own football. At home it needed a different word.
Imagine showing up to a football game and it's the wrong football that SKS Nanoda.
You trained for weeks and then it's just wrong shaped ball. The boss hit betrayal, very serious.
GUN Dayman would still eat the Andemaki either way. Nanoda Stadium snacks are universal.
Okay, so we've been going back and forth on this football or soccer. Which one is right? Honestly, both are right depending on where you're from. So it's kind of a fun little language trap.
The funny thing is, the word soccer actually came from England originally. Nanoda, they just stopped using it.
Wait, so England invented the word and then abandoned it? That's so dramatic. Like naming your pet and then refusing to use the name.
Meanwhile, America and Australia kept it. And now England acts like they never said it. Nanoda.
The betrayal! The soccer betrayal! In Japan, we mostly say sakai, which is just soccer with a Japanese accent. So we're firmly in that camp.
GUN Daemon says both are fine as long as the ball is found and the snacks are good. Nanoda.
Okay, so we've been going back and forth on this football or soccer. Which one is right? I feel like both sides are very confident about this.
The word soccer actually came from Britain originally. Nanoda. They just stopped using it later.
Wait, so Britain invented the word and then abandoned it? That's so rude to the word. They just quietly ghosted soccer.
And then, America and a few others kept using it. And now everyone argues for ever-classic language drama, Nanoda.
I kind of love that one word, two names, endless debate. It does make international fan chat interesting though. You can usually tell where someone is from just by which word they use.
It is basically a free geography quiz, Nanoda.
Okay, so we've been saying football and soccer. This whole corner. And I still feel like I'm accidentally offending someone every time.
It's a real minefield, say, soccer. In the UK you get the lot. A book that says, "What are you?" A brochure from 1975.
But then, in Japan and the US, it's just totally normal to say soccer. We're not wrong.
Nobody is wrong. Everybody is just very passionate about being right. It is basically the same sport 22 people, one ball, maximum feelings, Nanoda.
Maximum feelings is the best description of football/soccer I have ever heard.
And the fans in that stadium photo on screen right now? Pure maximum feelings. You can almost see it through the screen. Nanoda actually frightening and amazing at the same time.
Okay, so we've been going back and forth on this football or soccer. Which one is correct?
I feel like both sides are very confident they are right. The real answer is both are right. Nanoda, depending on where you are on the map.
The UK calls it football, the US calls it soccer. And then everyone else is just picking a side.
It's like a little language World Cup happening before the actual World Cup. And Ziandemaki is called Ziandemaki everywhere. So clearly the superior global brand, Nanoda.
That is NOT, the same conversation.
She found a way to make it about Ziandai again. Consistency is important in sports and in snacks, Nanoda.
Okay, so we've been going back and forth on this for a while now, football or soccer. Which one is correct?
I think both are correct depending on where you're from, right? Exactly, Nanoda. In most of the world, it's football. In the US, Canada, Australia, soccer.
Australia says soccer too. I did not know that.
Yeah, because they have their own football, Australian rules football. Every country just decided their version was the real one. And honestly, the energy is valid Nanoda.
So if you visit 10 different countries, you might need 10 different words for the same sport.
That's a little chaotic, but also kind of charming. Language is just vibes with extra steps, Nanoda.
Okay, so we've been on this football versus soccer thing for a while now, and I still think it's wild that two words mean the same sport.
It really is. In Japan, we mostly say soccer in everyday talk. But officially, it's football, even here. The official name is football. Nanoda soccer is the rebel name.
Rebel name! I love that soccer. It's the punk rock version.
Actually, the word soccer came from England originally. So England invented both the sport and the word. Then decided they didn't like the word anymore. That is the most English thing I have ever heard. Nanoda.
They gave us the word and then took it back. Classic.
Meanwhile, America and a few others kept using it. And now England acts like it was never their idea. Language is just a long argument with no referee. Nanoda.
Okay, so we've been talking about this for a while now. Football or soccer? Which one is right?
Both are right. Technically, it just depends on where you're from.
The UK says football, the US says soccer, and everyone argues about it forever. Nanoda? It's like calling it Ziande Maki versus Screaming Pig. Same thing, completely different energy.
That is actually a surprisingly good comparison.
Thank you! I thought about it for a long time. Nanoda! You did not think about it for a long time.
But the point stands, the name changes. The love for the sport doesn't.
Exactly, call it whatever you want, as long as you're cheering loudly. Nanoda. Okay, so we've been going back and forth on this for a while now. Football versus soccer, the eternal debate.
Honestly, I feel like football makes more sense since you're kicking with your foot.
But then American football exists and the foot is barely involved. Nanoda explained that. Right? The foot is like a guest appearance in American football.
A very occasional guest.
In American football, the foot shows up, kicks once, and goes home early. Nanoda. That's exactly what happens. The kicker just runs in like my moment, and then leaves.
Meanwhile, in football or soccer, your feet are working the entire match, no breaks.
Feet deserving of a raise. Nanoda. Okay, so we've been going back and forth on this for a while now. Football or soccer? Which one do you say?
I feel like it depends so much on where you grew up. Football is just the natural word for most of the world.
But then American football shows up and suddenly everyone needs a clarification meeting. Nanoda. Exactly. Like football in America means helmets and touchdowns, not kicks and goals.
It must be so confusing for people learning English from different countries at the same time.
Imagine, did you watch the football game? And getting completely different answers depending on the time zone. Nanoda. That's basically a communication trap disguised as a sports question.
A classic international misunderstanding waiting to happen.
The safest move is just to say, the round ball game. Nanoda. We are getting close to the last stretch.
If you have anything you want to ask or talk about, now is the time to comment.
Last call for cozy comments. Nanoda. We will keep picking up comments until the end. KawAIi Nanoda is wrapping up for today.
Thank you for watching and chatting with us.
Come back again, Nanoda. See you next time.